Welcome to the Mystic Revolution. We are in episode 46 of the season of the soul senses. And today we're going to continue our conversation on chakras and energy centers. And we've got a lot to share, but before we do that, let's do a brief meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes and let yourself just go inward for a moment. And let's drop our awareness down into our belly. And then from the belly, see if you can drop your awareness down to your root chakra, the energy center at the base of your spine. And tune into a beautiful ball of light, a spinning wheel, whatever allows you to really feel, sense, intuit what your root is all about. Let's go ahead and just ground from our root today, all the way down to the center of the earth. As you're doing that, maybe you can allow your feet, if you're sitting in a chair, or maybe if you're lying down, but allow your feet to tune into the earth too. And we can put cords down from our feet, and we can pull up earth energy into our bodies. Now let's go ahead and tune up to the heart of the sky, to Source, the God of your heart. And just allow that bright, beautiful energy to shine down on you. Allow yourself to feel it or sense it washing over you on the outside. And just for fun, let's see if we can also allow it to come in through the top of your head and fill up your body. Doing something a little bit different today. And so you're grounded at the root, and we're filling up our bodies with the beautiful light of Source, of Sun, of the Divine, the God of your heart. And see if you can just get a picture of you as a body of light, but grounded by the earth, the physicality of the earth. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. And we're going to continue our conversation about chakras or chakras. Different people pronounce it differently, and that's okay. I mean, certainly here in the West, we have our own way of doing a lot of different things. And I think part of this is to allow that to be okay. Allow it to work with your vernacular, with the way you understand things and the way of the world. Of course, if you want to dive deep into some very extensive study of all of this, you absolutely can. But we're here to give you an overview and our sort of mystic experience of energy centers. So,
well, we did a lot of overview last time. And
yeah.
so let's jump into nuts and bolts of let's start with like the earth related chakras. How about that? And just to back up, and last time we talked about like this conversation is very flavored by the Hindu view. And in the Hindu view, there's 7 major body chakras, and that's really what the focus is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have a couple others that, and that's the major chakras. There's small chakras everywhere, all over the system.
Yes.
But another one that is I found very helpful that's not in the Hindu system is it could be called the Earth Star.
Yeah.
It's below our body. And I don't where do you tend to see the Earth Star, Susana? Are you tuned into where you perceive it?
Yeah, I tend to perceive it under the earth, right under
Mhm.
my feet. So when I think of it, and I get a picture of my auric field,
Mhm.
or the aura in the shapes, often an egg shape or a sphere, but going all the way around, and yeah, just a few feet underground, more or
Mhm.
less.
Mhm.
That helps sort of give an anchoring point
Mhm.
just below.
So if you're up in a building or an airplane or something, it's outside your aura. Is it always outside your aura? Or
For
is it always
me,
inside your aura?
it's sort of it's like
Oh, it's at the edge.
it's at the edge. It sort of holds it.
Mhm.
But it can change. I think the point of it is that it's the anchor. I think of it as an anchor.
Oh, I love that picture.
Yeah.
I love the anchor picture.
Because right, we can expand and contract our auric field for sure.
Yes, for
But
sure.
anyway,
Right.
you
Right.
please go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really care about where it is relative to the aura. There's people with certain pictures about that.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like the important part is that for me, yes, an anchor. I love that picture. For me, it helps me with my intention of grounding
Mhm.
without effort.
Yeah.
So if I'm having trouble, say I go into fear or I'm feeling flighty or whatever, and I really want to ground more. One way that I say hi to it is to say hi to this chakra and just turn up the intention that it's doing the job. It's like in some ways it's like a repeater or like it pulls.
Yeah, I think of it like sort of that idea when you feel like a
Yeah,
magnetic pull. And
that's another way to talk about
that can really help when you're trying to get into your body
it.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, if there's disturbance. And also it helps me with no effort is to do a something with the feet chakras in the
Hmm.
arches and the earth star and just say, you guys like pull up from the earth feet and in through the legs, and then the earth star is pulling it through, and I'm in the middle, like with this whole system working with no struggle and no strife over here.
Yeah.
And then of course that I intend that through my whole lower body, that kind of flow. And then of course all the three body chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus can also, I have a picture of they're doing their processing, they're pulling through too. So there's just they're moving energy and helping feed and release from the system without any, like, all right, let's do some heavy lifting. There's no need for that.
Yeah, I think that that's important to say. Wendy, I guess I don't know if we talked about it much in our previous episodes, but the idea of running energy, our energy systems run energy without our involvement.
Mm-hmm.
And we can also intentionally run our energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the idea of being able to do things without a lot of effort, like, oh, I'm really trying hard to ground, right?
Yes.
Um, our bodies naturally want to. It's for what I find is like if we can relax and allow, that can happen much more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to point out you talked about chakras in your feet, also in your hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
The energy center, that beautiful arch of your foot right up in there.
Mm,
For a moment,
so
tune
good.
into it. Tune into
Good.
the arch of your feet and the idea of spinning wheels or balls of light there. Yeah, it's really, 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 really interesting to think about. And then if we're intentionally working with those centers to connect and to be in sync with the rhythms of the earth. Anyway, I could go on, but
Yeah.
you were talking.
What I'll say about, no, it's great. Well, it's very exciting stuff, right? It's just like,
Yeah.
one of the things is I've learned also that's really helped is because we run energy from the earth through our legs down our grounding. That's one of the things we do. And in the system. And one thing that I've loved is really tuning into the feet chakras and getting the feet chakras what they need. They need to be well and whole and operating and nurtured, nutritionalized. So they get what they need, and then they can get, like, they are intelligent and they can help my whole leg channels, my whole the rest of my body energy get what it needs.
Yeah.
By just the intention of drinking from the earth for what I need, and really giving my feet chakras a minute to, like, people who are serving dinner. You don't want this people start making and serving dinner to be hungry, right? Like, they have to eat, and then they can happily, easily serve the system. That's a very useful thing. And also the feet chakras are right somewhat, in some ways. It's so funny because when I'm tuning into the energy system of the body, it's so far, like it's so far from the feet to the lower body, right? But it's not, it's like,
No.
3 feet or something, but it's so far. And way down there, the feet are just practically at the earth, no matter where we are. And they can just drink and soak in the goodness so that they can be robust.
Yeah.
And then they can handle, they're so smart, again, like we talked about last time, they're highly intelligent, multidimensional processing intelligences. So they can do it with just a little, like, hey y'all, like, with like a little more up here. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like to use the feet chakras and the earth star in tandem as team. Anything else to say about those guys before we go on?
I think it's good to remember the feet. I mean, literally, that's probably, unless you've got a pain in your foot or you actively paint your toenails, we don't spend a lot of time paying attention to our feet. I mean, maybe some people do. I certainly did not before I started working with energy. And, our feet are, think of how many spaces and places our feet have taken us to.
Yes.
And what they help us do and carry. So
yes,
spending some time with our feet and our feet chakras, I think, is really important.
It's very enlivening.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I'm really looking forward, y'all. I'm sure you're all really like, come on, get to the root chakra already. And we will right after the break.
Thank you, We Are Historically, for your conscious human apparel. Shop online at wearehistorically.com.
Hey friends, Susana and I want to remind you that we offer a Mystic Revolution meditation. It's the first Tuesdays at 4:30 Pacific. Please come as our guest. You can see our website for the link. And thank you for playing with us.
Raise your vibration and energize your life with specialized Fibonacci tuning forks that deepen meditations and empower self-healing. Get your vibrational sound tools for personal enhancement at energybodytuners.com.
Welcome back from the break. We are going to talk about the root chakra.
So awesome.
Wendy's very excited.
I love these chakras. Really, I've been working with them full on for like 20 years. Probably you have too. And it's just exciting. It's interesting. It's juicy. So root chakra, I'm just going to say a little bit, and then I'd love to hear your picture, Susana. And I hope everybody listening has, been tuning into your own and you have your own information. So I see the root as how we connect with this physical reality. How do we connect our physical body and our soul experience here on the earth with the earth and the earth, the whole earth game, and how this physical reality operates.
Yeah.
And also how we keep our bodies going. I think one of the main, really, if there's one question the root chakra has is, am I safe? And I see that there's a distinction that I was given by an ascended master about this, is that I think of it in terms of wealth. What we're experiencing here, it's the wealth of spirit for our bodies.
Mm.
So yes, safety is the most important thing, right? Nothing else happens without that. But then also belonging is so huge. Those two are so determinative of our lives and our
Yeah.
behavior and our choices, how we think, how we feel. So those are wealth. If I am safe, that is gold. If
Yeah.
I belong, that is gold. And in the old days, like if I got thrown out of the pack, I was dead. Like it matters that much. And then from there, the wellness of my body, the wellness of my money flow, the wellness of my relationships, and all of that, having, food, shelter, the basic Maslow lower hierarchy. That's what that root chakra is. It also has healing energy that helps heal the body, and healing information that helps us heal and create into this world, healing and creative information that helps us all the way up here as we heal and create a new world. So I can go on, but that's kind of the way I look at it. And it's probably different than you, Susana. So
Well,
I'd love to hear.
no, I mean, so many similarities, but again, safety, security, stability,
Mhm.
foundation. It is with the Earth star, this is where I first learned about the idea of grounding. And I'm going to say that this is critical for me. I came to this work because I had a seizure disorder, a life-threatening seizure disorder where my body was going haywire, and no traditional medical facility at the time could really tell me what was going on. But literally the electricity in my body, because of high sensitivity, a myriad of other things, was haywire. And I was fortunate to connect with an energy healer who, first thing we do, get me grounded.
Yes.
Get me grounded. Get into the root, get into your body, like using that, find a solid foundation to kind of like,
Yes.
so I have a lot of affinity for this energy center. I mean, it really shifted everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how you talk about stability. Because one of the ways that I like to see these chakras, it's a hilarious picture I have of how they work together is I'm not so good at what this is called, but in like when people have like grown up China kind of thing, there's this thing where it's like they serve cookies or candies or whatever. It's like this plate that sits on the table, and then there's a post, and then a smaller plate and a post and a smaller plate, right? And it goes
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And that's a great way. One of the million ways we can talk about how the chakras are related. The root sits on the table. It sits on the ground. It's like a big platter that holds everything.
Yeah.
It holds everything. And then up from there is holding the next part and the next part all the way up. And
Right.
stability is extraordinarily important
Yeah.
for the system. And when
Yeah.
that goes haywire, when it doesn't feel safe, it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't matter what is real. If that root is like not safe, not secure, then one of the things I notice a lot that happens way up here is the intellect says, well, forget it. I'm going to take over. I'm going to perseverate. I'm going to take over this ship because clearly things are going, we're going to hit the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So the intellect wants to take over instead of letting us spiritually drive, be captain of the ship. So there's a very strong tie right down to the root.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I think about the root, I mean, again, I mean, it's sort of, for me, the anchor in the body, the solid foundation in the body. that helps keep things in alignment. It helps presence the mind in a way that at least I had never experienced before. And in that presencing, then we have greater access to the spiritual mind, and we can call on the intellect when we need it, right? It's like
Yes. It can serve us.
it can serve us. I'll also say, I mean, I'm kind of jumping around, but at the same time that I was having these kind of haywire energy running through me, I was also having terrible back problems in my lower back, and tending to the root also helped that. Might not
Very
help
much.
for everybody, but it definitely did for me. So, yeah.
Yeah. One other thing just to say, you know, because we talk about the grounding down to the earth, it's just so important to have that consciousness of connection that is just always real. I believe that the physical connection between our bodies and all the way, you know, the whole earth, the center of the earth, is real. The electrons are all connecting. Our bodies come from the earth and return to the earth. That we are earth, and that our bodies are earth and belong here and are connected here is just real for me. Not everybody might like that, but it's real for me. And also energetically, of course, there's all this connectedness. There's oneness and stuff. So we're just validating the grounding. We're validating that connection and making it real for my consciousness and for my body's comfortableness. And then up at the top, I'm saying hi to my crown, which is connecting to source. So there's this holding, there's this super groundedness in both directions, holding, from my perspective. So making it so much easier to operate in this world. This world can be crazy and challenging and a little much sometimes. And like to have that going on in my consciousness is a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, I completely agree. And, you know, I mean, I sort of feel like talk about a lot of challenges that we humans have and the world and all of that. But I think working with the energy of the earth and the way the root allows us to, allowing ourselves to get more present. I mean, it's critical. I mean, I feel like so many of the horrible things that we are doing to the earth wouldn't be happening if we were all operating a little bit more connected to it.
Right.
And having that balance and the system of earth and sky, of earth and the divine, of the physical and the divine. I mean, it's
awesome.
It's
and
awesome.
Then, like you said, then it's easier to be present in and with the body and life and what's going on.
Yeah.
Like the more I'm grounded, then I can be here now I can be centered.
Be here now with. Mm-hmm.
And it's not too much.
Yeah.
And also, like you pointed out, I think last time, then I start to have the flavor of my own energy and the movement of my own energy that helps to release everybody else's.
Yeah.
And then not attract everybody else's, be my own vibrational space.
Yeah.
It's just it's very positive spiral.
Yeah, it can be. And I think, you know, people talk about energy centers being out of balance. And I think, you know, it's very true. I mean, when our lower chakras are out of balance, we humans can do a lot of horrific things. And our focus gets drawn to things that are not helpful. I mean, this is true for any energy center that we're going to talk about, but I mean, this is why, you know, when we talk about lower chakras and upper chakras, like they all work together and it's a system. And I think we have this strange dichotomy going on where so much of like the media and everything is out there to sort of poke at our lower chakras while sort of taking us out of our body. And so we aren't in tune up here, and it's kind of a mess. So
Yeah. So we are closing, but I'd love to hear what you have to say and what your experience is about balancing chakras. What does that mean for people who are listening? What does it mean?
So, that's an interesting word because it doesn't mean that every energy center is the same size, the same shape, the same vibration, the same color, the same density, or that it matches the perfect color frequency that we see on all the charts. That's
Right.
not what it means. At least to me, what it means is being able to look at each individual energy center and tend to what is needed there. Hi, I got a friend.
Oh, hi, friend. Speaking of tending.
Yeah, tend to what is needed there so that your system, your mind, body, heart, soul, spirit, emotional system, all of it is optimal
Nice.
for you. Yeah.
That's gorgeous. So we keep thinking we're going to cover more, but this is great. We covered feet and root and earth star, which is the foundation
Yeah.
of the whole system.
Yes.
And a bunch of other stuff so that when we come back, we can start to really, go up and see how this all dances together.
That's great. I'm so sorry. I just have to drop one more thing in here.
Yes.
Root, earth, all of this, I think, is also a really important center. I mean, along with the others, but starting there for people that are experiencing addiction energy.
Oh, yes.
As someone who has, we can talk more about it, or you can reach out to me about it, but so important.
Yeah. I mean, if we're not safe and belonging, nothing can change. Nothing works. Everything's sucks.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah. When you are, right, feeling alienated, detached from the world, yourself.
Yes. I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trying to fill up that, well, that'll be a whole other episode at some point.
Right?
I think, yeah. But
on and on.
All right, we've gone over time. Thank you so much. Before we say goodbye, let's just do a quick meditation. Go ahead and close your beautiful eyes, and let's just drop into our root. And go ahead and envision, imagine, tune into a spinning wheel or a beautiful ball of light, something that draws you in, that you can anchor your focus. Allow it to be expansive, expanding the width of your body there at the base of your spine, from back to front. And just for a moment, you can, even if you don't fully believe it, even if you don't fully feel it, what if you could just say, right here, right now, you are safe. I am safe. I am solid. I am strong. Let that energy come into you. Allow yourself to drop a beautiful grounding cord down to the heart of the earth. And take a nice deep breath in and exhale out. And we thank you for being with us. All right, we will see you next time on the Mystic Revolution.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks so much for playing with us. Please support Mystic Revolution by liking and sharing our show.
And sign up to get notified when new content is available. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Have a happy always.
Join us for our monthly Mystic Meditation on the first Tuesday of the month at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time.
Click on the link in the description to get more information and join the Mystic Revolution.